Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. White House sends mixed message on higher taxes. The White House has sent mixed signals over its plan to raise taxes on the wealthy to pay for some of its policies, providing a lack of clarity about how President Biden's $400,000 threshold for tax increases would work. The absence of details come as Democrats are already debating privately how to pay for their programs, an issue when it comes to taxes that splits the party not only on philosophic lines, but also on regional ones. Most Democrats support the idea of raising taxes on the wealthy and corporations, but Democrats representing suburban areas with high cost of living are sensitive about what's judged middle class and upper middle class and how tax hikes would affect their communities. And conservatives have already started to argue that Biden is seeking to violate his pledge to raise taxes on only the wealthiest Americans. Biden has used varying language when referring to the income level above which he'd raise taxes, not always being clear about whether he's targeting individuals making more than $400,000 or also households with couples making a combined $400,000. On many occasions, Biden has suggested that he won't raise taxes on any person making under $400,000, but at other times he has said that there won't be tax increases for families making under that level. When Biden first made his pledge on CNBC in May 2020, while he was running for president, he said nobody making under $400,000 would have their taxes raised. Period. Bingo. In remarks earlier this month after the Labor Department released unemployment data, Biden said his infrastructure plan won't raise a penny tax on a family making less than $400,000 a year. Then during remarks Wednesday about his infrastructure package, Biden said, "I will not impose any tax increases on people making less than $400,000 a year." Biden offered a series of proposals aimed at raising taxes on high earners during his presidential campaign, but has not detailed proposals on tax increases for individuals since taking office. Much of the focus of the debate among lawmakers on taxes currently relates to Biden's proposal to raise the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%. However, Biden is expected to release a proposal in the future focused on health care and child care, and that bill is expected to be paid for through tax increases on high-income individuals. How those tax increases are structured would impact who might be affected. If the tax increases apply to married couples filing joint returns with income above $400,000, there could be some people whose individual income is under $400,000, but who would see a tax increase because their combined income with their spouse is above that threshold. During a press briefing last month, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said that both individual tax filers making under $400,000 and families making under $400,000 will not see their taxes go up. But she also said that the administration would have more to say when it releases proposals about tax increases for high earners. This is a commitment he made on the campaign trail, which he has committed to abiding by, she said. But once we propose a tax proposal, we'll have more to discuss on it. Think tanks that analyze Biden's campaign tax proposals applied the $400,000 threshold to both single filers and married couples. Eric Toto, co-director of the Urban Bookings Tax Policy Center, said that Biden's campaign didn't object to that assumption, but that doesn't mean that it was the administration will ultimately propose. The use of a $400,000 threshold for married couples and could become a Republican attack line against Democrats as Biden seeks to enact his agenda. The right-leading editorial board of the Wall Street Journal wrote last month that Biden is obfuscating who will pay his planned tax increases on high earners because he frequently suggests that no one making under $400,000 will see a tax increase, while Psaki has said the threshold would apply to families. If you're a two-income household making $200,000 each, you could get whacked. The editorial board wrote, "This is a familiar tax bait. and switch. Democrats promise they'll tax only the rich, but there aren't enough rich, and the rich don't have enough money to finance the Democratic Party's endless spending schemes. The editorial board added millions of the Americans Mr. Biden wants to tax aren't rich. They are successful Americans, typically at the peak of their earning lives, who might make $200,000 for a few years. Americans for Tax Reform President Grover Norquist argued that Biden's proposal to raise the corporate income tax rate could hurt people making under $400,000 because the rate increase could impact the value of people's 401k retirement accounts. Biden is going right for the middle class, right for the upper middle class, and that $400,000 is a dead letter and never meant anything. It certainly doesn't mean anything now. Norquist said Friday at a virtual event hosted by the Washington Post. Norquist said in an interview with The Hill following the Post events that it could hurt Democrats politically if people in high-income areas with high cost of living see tax increases that they did not expect. This is what loses Democrats to suburbs, he said. But Democrats said they did not expect there to be much political backlash if Biden raised taxes on both individuals and married couples making above $400,000. Noting that there are a few couples making above that amount, Democratic strategist Brad Bannon said that he thinks it would be difficult for Republicans to argue that couples with income above $400,000 are middle class. The Biden tax policy is on pretty solid ground, he said. Bannon added that if Republicans suggest a couple making more than $400,000 and not well off financially, it would not be endearing to working class voters. Opposing tax increases on high earners put Republicans in a bad place politically. He said, according to a report released Thursday by the left-leaning Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy, or we can call it the ITEP, the personal income tax increases in Biden's campaign plan would impact only 1.9% of taxpayers for the 2022 tax year. That analysis was conducted assuming that the tax increases apply to both single filers and married couples with income above $400,000. I think married couples think of their income as their combined income, says Steve Wormhoff, Director of Federal Tax Policy at ITEP. So basically what Biden is going to do is practically tax those who are making $400,000 or more. Basically, if it's a joint will be like the husband, let's say he'll be making $200,000 and then the wife making $200,000, then you would be taxed. And if you're a single filer and you just make a straight $400,000, you're going to be taxed. Now, this is the problem with doing that. When you tax the corporate companies and if you tax the companies, the corporations, they're gonna basically take it out on the the women and men who are working at the company. To me, if you're going to tax, yes, you need to tax the people. You need to tax the rich. You're not taxing the rich. You're taxing people who aren't rich. Yeah, they may make $400,000, but you're attacking a certain group of people. Why aren't you attacking these billionaires who are making all this money? Why aren't you taxing them? Because they have money in your pocket. People stop listening to the left or right wing, whoever wing they are. F both sides. We as a people need to come together and create our own political party and vote people in who have our best interests. Those who live in our neighborhoods, who are very poorish or in the middle class or living good or who's a worker. Because really today you're either rich or poor. There's no in between. So my problem is I have a problem with Biden trying to do this because Biden already is, he already is taxing us. He's taxing us already. You haven't seen it? He's already taxing us. He's taxing everybody around, and he's raising the gas prices, raising the food. Everything is high because of the stimulus check. Because they gave us the stimulus check. And if you guys haven't been paying attention to other content creators who have been talking about this stuff, then you're slow. While you're too busy out here with your head in the clouds, you're getting taxed. They're just putting this as a smoke screen to say, oh, we're going to tax this people. No, they're taxing people who aren't rich. Just because you make $400,000 a year, that does not make you rich. Why aren't you taxing the billionaires? I'm not talking to millionaires. The millionaires get taxed. I'm talking about the billionaires. The billionaires get tax write-offs. All they got to do is sign a check for something and they got it. And you people are dumb. You guys are still slow to what's going on. So let me know in the comment section, what do you think about the White House raising taxes? And do you think this is a smoke screen? And also, is Biden just talking out his butt? Thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you like what you hear, you could donate to the page by Cash Apping me at the word welcome, the number 2, and an HDIITV. Thank you all for listening, and we're out. Daisy!